Hey kids, I'm back. Bildo the Clown here. That clown you love to hate. I realize it's been a while, a couple years. But, I have been busy. Mostly staring in abject horror into the nightmare rectangle, but, it is what it is. Uh, you'll notice I'm not doing the makeup. It's a long process. It takes like an hour to put on, half hour to take off, and a week to get my skin back to normal. So, we're not doing that very often. I'll still do it, but not very often. So these videos are mostly video diary for me. Like I realize I have my 10 fans and 30 haters out there, and we'll address that in a moment. But by and large, these are kind of so I can look back and go, that's what was going on and what my opinions were at the time. I have quit drinking. That's why these are no longer I need a drink or beer in review. The format will remain similar, though. Current events, my opinions on them. We got a lot to cover, though, since we got to rewind all the way back to when the pandemic started. Remember 2019 when we were kind of laughing at the people freaking out, saying you needed, to bleach everything and wash your hands more and get these N95 masks? Well, we probably should have listened, I guess. I mean, in the last 2 years, we had a documentary about a methed out tiger cult, and that wasn't even close to the weirdest damn thing that happened. Corona caused a lot of current problems that are being blamed on politicians. The economy is in the shitter because gas prices went and doubled themselves. But if you look at how much the oil companies are profiting, it's the amounts that they raised the fucking gas prices. They're profiteering off of the coronavirus and the fact that we can't do jack shit about it. And in turn, all of the other industrial complexes had to raise their prices because shipping went up, because gas went up. It's not Biden's fault. I wish I could blame Biden or Trump. I hate them both. George Floyd was murdered by the police and live on Facebook, and it sparked a nationwide outrage. It was the last straw for a lot of people. There was protests that erupted into rioting and looting. And to be quite honest, from what I could tell, a lot of it could have been prevented had the police not responded to protests about police brutality with more police brutality. But that's just my opinion. Shortly after that, we had a presidential election where Joe Biden won. If you have proof that he cheated, I would love to see it. You know where the comment section's at. But if you don't have proof, I don't want to hear it. Quite honestly. Y'all have been saying that Biden cheated. It was a fraudulent election. I have yet to see a single shred of actual, concrete, undeniable evidence. Everything else has been hearsay or explainable. So, put up or shut up. And then what was Trump's response to losing the election was to rile up his supporters. And that turned into an insurrection at the Capitol that, from what I could tell, was a little more violent, maybe less destructive, but a little more violent than any of the protests involving Black Lives Matter or George Floyd. Anywhere. And It's in part due to these QAnon conspiracy theories. I remember a time when the conspiracy theories were simple, like we didn't really land on the moon, or Lee Harvey Oswald didn't really kill JFK. But they've progressed to JFK's really alive and he wants to go against the generations long Democratic dynasty of the Kennedy family and reinstate Donald Trump into the presidency. No. Uh, and I don't want to outright say that Trump himself is racist or anybody in the Trump camp, other than maybe Roger Stone, is racist. However, all the white supremacists and neo-Nazis think he's on their side. So if I had to choose sides, it wouldn't be that one. Now, I don't want you guys thinking I'm some fucking free love hippie Democrat communist, even though, not everything left of hunting the homeless for sport is communism or antifa. Right. Uh, Joe Biden is a bright and shiny example of why we need to stop electing senior citizens. I'm not seeing he's doing a horrible job because, in spite of the economy being in the shitter, jobs are up. Other things are up that are positive. But he's a frail old man, and having him as the head of the state kind of makes us all look somewhat frail. And on the left, we have extremists too. Completely misguided people calling themselves anti-fascists when they wouldn't know a true anti-fascist if they goose-stepped across their neck. You're not an anti-fascist if you're throwing the first punch. If you're throwing the first punch, you're a fascist. Being against fascism is a good thing. Most of you calling yourselves Antifa are acting like fascists. Now, I will concede that violence against fascism is not fascism in itself. It's self-defense. But, again, a lot of you are throwing the first punch. That's fascist. What the future holds, the current state of affairs, it's really hard to say. There's a lot of election deniers that are in some sort of legal power that are not only allowing right-wing people to be armed watching the election boxes, but they're joining in on it because they also believe all of these QAnon Trump lies. That's kind of why I wanted to get this video out now, right before the midterm, because I don't know how this is going to turn out. If the left does well, the right is going to claim it's all fraudulent like they did in 2020, and it could erupt into something far, far worse than what we saw on January 6th of last year. If the right does well, all hell could break loose because there's other things on the ballot that are rights we could lose, even though it's the right that keeps claiming that the left is trying to take away your rights. The Supreme Court did away with Roe v. Wade, and subsequent states have passed horrifying laws limiting women's right to proper medical care. And a 10-year-old rape victim had to go out of state to get a medically necessary abortion. And the state that it happened in, that she had to flee from, is proud of this. And as I just stated before, we have sheriffs sitting outside of ballot boxes making sure that the left isn't dumping a bunch of, trying to cheat this 2022 election. Midterm elections aren't typically all that important. Midterm elections are usually, how's the president doing? If he's not doing well, we vote the other way. which is another problem with this two-party system. We keep voting for the lesser of two evils. And we need to vote for the best person for the job. We need to start giving the third party a shake. We really do. I'm not saying Vermin Supreme should be president, but Donald Trump was the lesser evil in the 2016 election. Hillary was not a good choice. I'm sorry for any fans of her out there, but she wasn't. And the future is in the hands of the voters if you believe the vote actually matters. As for me, here's a little update. If you've noticed, over the last, let's say, 3 years, I kind of faded out of social media. Facebook started banning me left and right for bullying racists, even though they were the ones that probably should have been getting all of these bans. So I was only really on Facebook for maybe like 20 days out of the entire last year before they finally kicked me off for good. It's been good though. It's been good for my mental health. It's helped me stay off drinking. The not drinking did up my social anxiety though, and that's part of why I've been absent. Also, again, I wanted to find a way to streamline this because that makeup shit takes forever. You might notice I'm wearing my own merch. I don't have any sort of online store. This is just a sample that I had made. I can get more if you're interested. In fact, I have free sticker packs, limited supply, but you know, I have stickers that I have made, some of the samples that I have left over. They're already in stamped envelopes. I just need your address, which you can send to my email, doebill, DOEBIL, at yahoo.com. I'm not hoping to make big money. I already have it. And I'm keeping an eye out for new designs. But I do have 4 t-shirt designs, like 2-3 other sticker designs other than the ones I just showed you. More in the future. I'm going to try to learn the editing program that I've had on my phone for a while now, because I don't want these videos to be these 20-minute freaking rants that gets a little long, and you're not all going to want to watch them all. And I want to do them more often. That'll help with the length of them. Plus, I have ideas for skits, tricks, other edited videos. I am learning the legitimate art of clowning. I have an entire library of books that I'm just now beginning to learn to read, or well, I know how to read. Ventriloquism, more juggling, more balloon animals, all of that to help me be a better clown, because at the end of the day, I want to make a positive impact in this world. I want to spread smiles. We need to start learning how to get together and find common ground. Your neighbor's a Trump supporter. You're a Biden lover. Don't talk about politics. What kind of pizza do you like? I'll bet you both like pizza. That's common ground. Build from that. You remember Breakfast at Tiffany's? Well, that's one film we both kind of liked. Anyway, again, doebill at yahoo.com. If you'd like some free stickers or more information about other merch I may have, or possibly getting one of these t-shirts, there's a bit of a turnaround because, again, I don't have an inventory. I don't have a website yet, but hit me up. Or if there's anything else you'd like to discuss, you can hit the comments section if you don't mind it being public, or you can email me if you'd like to talk about other stuff you'd like me to talk about. Yeah, that's about it. I really had to make this video because I had to find a way to laugh at some of this shit. Because if I stop laughing, guys, I'll start crying. And if I'm not laughing with you, it's because I'm laughing at you. Have the day you deserve.